always a hope. Rise and fight.
Hello and welcome back everyone to BSL16. We are in the quarterfinals and joining me today for the cast is my good buddy Nyoken. Nyoken, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good, Machine, and I'm excited not just for these games, but we're in the home stretch, really. We've got the top 4 remaining, and when you think of top 4 finishers in BSL, these are all the names you're thinking of. So I'm hyped to find out who's going to actually win this season of BSL, man.
Absolutely, man. I mean, what a story it's been so far to finally get down to, these final 4. We got a good mixture, at least one of each race there, and obviously we got Dewalt and Bonyth leading up the charge here for Team Protoss. But you know what? Dewalt's going to have to get through Sziky today to continue, and man, this is going to be one heck of a fight for both these players.
Yeah, this is going to be really close, I imagine. They just played the other week, and it ended up going in favor of Dewalt, but these players are so similar in skill. It's really just going to come down to the day, right? Like, it could have gone 2-1 for Sziky. I wouldn't be surprised to see 2-1 for Sziky today. You know, everybody knows, big Dewalt fan here. I got to go with my boy, but I wouldn't be shocked if Sziky not only won, but also won in convincing fashion, something like 3-0 or 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta, basically says I feel like today could be Zyky's day. My heart is definitely going for Sziky here. Team Zerg, us Zergs gotta stick together, man. So I'm definitely gonna be cheering pretty hard for Sziky, but obviously Dewalt been playing phenomenal. Moving over to Korea, he's been, turning some heads even over there against some incredible players. So. It could very well be his day today as well. But man, it's going to be an exciting one either way here for this best of 5.
Well, you know what I'm actually looking forward to the most, Machine?
What's that?
Map picks, man. And you know why? It's because who is it? This guy over here. He picked Nemesis, and he's a Zerg player. And every time I've seen Nemesis, I've thought to myself, this is not a Zerg map. But he gets win there. But you know what would be the ultimate mind game? Is, remember he picked Nemesis and then he vetoes it, but actually it's Dewalt that vetoed it.
Yeah, that would be kind of a mind game. I wanted to see it as well. I think Sziky, like you're saying, Zyky's really the only one who's been able to kind of make that map work in the matchup. And had, maybe the craziest comeback of the season so far for BSL16 on that map. But yeah, obviously not going to be the case today. Looks like map 1 going to be Odyssey, followed by Vermeer, then Silphid, Circuit Breakers, and Power Bond. So still a good mix of maps. I'm a little surprised to see Odyssey slip through there, to be honest with you, as a Zerg player. I don't know. I don't personally have a ton of success on this map, ZVP. But, if Zyky's picking it for set 1 here, he's absolutely got something planned.
Yeah, I think, who was it, XiaoShuai? I think he got victories also on Odyssey, but it is funny to me, because like I said, we knew Nemesis was definitely going to be a pick from Sziky unless it was an ultimate mind game, but for him to pick Odyssey, game one, I think that's a good strategy because this is such a weird map. If he's got good success here, starts off 1-0, that would already put mega pressure onto Dewalt, who clearly wants to play on standard maps because look at his picks, Vermeer and Circuit Breakers. I mean, it doesn't get more standard than that.
I'm a little shocked at the Circuit Breaker pick, to be honest with you, from Dewalt. You know, anytime there's a map where Protoss is kind of forced into taking a mineral only, I think it's potential big advantage for a Zerg player, especially a Zerg the skill of Sziky. So, of all the map picks there, I gotta say the Circuit Breaker pick for Dewalt is the biggest shock to me. But still, you know, very much a manageable map, as you said, pretty standard. Giant 4-player map. Dewalt, definitely a player who has no qualms with getting to late game and really just outplaying his opponent. So, you know, could end up being a good choice for him there. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see how that one goes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think from like a banning perspective from Dewalt. Like, if your ban is Nemesis, I mean, what are you really hoping Sziky bans out? Because he banned Butter here, for example. That still leaves Power Pond, which has an open mineral only third base, right? Also leaves Circuit Breakers. It leaves Silphid, which is, you know, has a close third base, but it's also mineral only. Or the high ground is, well, technically not high ground, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. You know, that base doesn't have a lot of minerals, doesn't have a lot of gas. So how these specific bans have gone through, it doesn't really feel like there was very good map picks for Dewalt. I think actually Circuit Breakers are probably the best one he could go for. But yeah, everybody knows what this means when we see this screen. Our players are ready, so let's get into game one of Sziky versus Dewalt.
And spawning top right as the Red Zerg from Hungary, it is StarCast Sziky.
Yep, and in the bottom left, our blue Protoss, it is none other than Dewalt. Now, Machine, you said you don't like Odyssey. What, you don't like the face Protoss just has free 3 or 4 gas? Come on, everybody loves facing Protoss players that have that much gas.
Yeah, definitely not, man. The more Templar, the more of a headache I have ZVP on this map. Look at that. We got a treat today now. First person cam is on board here from Zero, man. We are going to see some epic first person view out of both these players, and I am excited for that.
Yep, and here we've got Dewalt's camera going crazy with the screen selections, or the F2, F3, F4, alternating between the main and the natural. Now, that's an interesting scout pattern, avoiding the Overlord.
This is almost like he wants to go for Cannon Rush or something. Oh, that Overlord might barely see it. It's kind of tough to tell. Yeah, that was a unique pass. Okay, he might. Yeah, he very well might have missed it. He might be going for like a hatchery block. Yep. So this is Sziky trying to get an advantage with that hatchery at the natural, and it's not going to happen.
I don't know why that made me laugh so much. For some reason, I thought we were still on Ziky's screen, and I thought when he saw the probe the drone get intercepted, he's like, "I'm out of here, man! Alt Q, get me out!" But not the case. It is just a pool follow-up.
This is gonna be a Nexus first here out of Dewalt, too. So man, big advantage I want to say for Dewalt here so far. You know, back to your original point. Why don't I like this map ZVP? I mean that. I don't ever like it when Protoss kind of gets a free in-base base, right? Obviously, the as you stated as well, the third gas or second gas in your main, I feel like is a bigger advantage for Protoss than Zerg. But also, like, if you're Sziky here, what third do you take? Do you take mid-right that is so vulnerable, has a high ground above the third base, or do you try to maybe hold top left? It can just be very awkward due to the spacing of the bases on this map. And obviously as Zerg, you don't take the in-base third because then nothing ever gets out of that base. So it's a little tough.
Yeah, I also am not sure what base he's going to take. Initially, I was thinking he might actually take the in-base because look at this. Did you see the gas timing from Sziky Machine? This was a 2-minute gas. This, to me, looks like it's going to be Mutaman. Or 2-hatch lurker drop or something insane?
It looks to be 2-hatch. I would guess Muta, but like you said, it very well could still be some like lurker style play. And why not, right? Game 1 in a best of 5 series, it could do Sziky some good to try to throw Dewalt off, play a completely separate style from what he normally would, just to kind of change things up and hopefully catch Dewalt off guard. But Dewalt's a veteran here. He's got to be prepared for it.
Well, that Spire should be finishing, or not Spire, that Lair should be finishing pretty soon, because as I stated, this was a 2-minute gas. That's absurdly fast. So his Spire's going to be started before Dewalt's Stargate should be starting. We're still waiting to see where his 3rd hatch is going to be placed, but he doesn't have the money for that right now.
No, he's all drones, just trying to catch up on that eco. Oh, we do see an idle drone in the main. I wonder if that's... I think it's too early to be looking for a 3rd hatchery. Yeah, we see drone being transferred to the natural here, but as you stated, that is such a fast Spire. And, it makes me think back to a couple ASL seasons ago when we were seeing some of the top Zergs really mix in a lot of 2-base openers versus Protoss, and it can be very tricky to deal with.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning Soulkey or Soma doing like low drone, fast mutas like this, and then they explode afterwards. And Sziky's definitely somebody that knows how to manage his econ, so it wouldn't shock me to see him explode an econ just yet. And there we go. 3rd hatch going to be a top middle machine, and this is a Zerg that's going to have access to 4 gases, and that's crazy. This could be the Muta game that we've been waiting for all season.
It really could be. I think you're right. I think this will be mass Muta. He's got that 3rd gas in the main to work with. Really, when I think of this 2-hatch style, Protoss kind of is in the dark even longer than they normally are, right? Like, that is definitely a big disadvantage for Protoss in this matchup. When there's speedlings out on the map, probes can't move out. When there's Muta out, you have to be very wary with your early Corsairs. And so Dewalt will not be able to move out with his first Sair here. He's got to be in survival mode for the start of this.
Yep, and we do have probes somehow got across the map, but gonna get intercepted. Meanwhile, there is 3 Zealots moving out. Now, 8 Lings, I think technically won't win that fight, but maybe like 2 more would win. But that Sair is going across the map machine, and that may be dead.
It could die, yeah. This is definitely the mistake.
Yep,
yeah, you can't do this against a good Zerg, for sure. He's just going to get a free Sair. This is the big problem with this 2-base Zerg opener, basically. You cannot move out with the first Sair, and so this is dead. And this might be a misstep here from Dewalt.
Oh no, he doesn't even have a cannon in his natural, man. He's got 1 Sair.
I don't think he recognized what this was. I think he thought Sziky took a quick 3rd hatchery in the main or something.
I don't know how he could have missed it, because he saw the gas timing. His probe was in the base. I guess he just thought it was a 2-minute 30 gas or 40 gas like they normally go for. This game might already be over because he's going to deal so much damage to the natural.
Are you telling me Dewalt is fallible? He's human? He can make mistakes? I don't know.
It's possible, I guess, man.
2 Sairs. He is waiting for these cannons to get up. Battery as well. Maybe the battery can look to save the Sair. Look at that, though. Very good control from Dewalt. And he will retain the natural for now.
Well, I gotta say, Machine, I don't think I've ever seen a battery for Corsairs, and that's 2 of them. I don't know how this actually plays out, because Scourge hits so hard and so quickly. Can a battery even save you, even if you click it instantly?
I don't think it can, but it will save him against the mutas here. Look at this Queen's Nest. What are we watching? I have no idea why you would get a Queen's Nest this
we going for Guardian Devour, Machine? The legend? Why are you laughing? We already saw our Nemesis.
You know what? I laughed at it that time, and it worked, and I should stop laughing at it, to be honest with you. Oh, man. Look at the gas Sziky has accumulated here. He could make infinite Scourge, and it wouldn't affect him at all.
I know, he's just got so much, and he hasn't even taken the second gas in his main. He hasn't taken the gas at his 3rd base. And Dewalt still has no intel. Like, that's another thing, is these Corsairs haven't moved across the map. They don't know what Sziky's doing. For all he knows, Sziky could be on like 7 hatches now. He just massively powering up. But we know that actually Hive is coming in just a second.
Yeah, it's definitely the power of this 2-base Zerg opener. I gotta say, there's no eco advantage. You know, you can't really hide a ton of tech or build a ton of tech, but Protoss is just in the dark for so much longer than a standard 3-base opener.
Well, this is going to be a strong follow-up, I guess, from Dewalt. He's got an Archon. He could start, if he built like multiple Archons, he could start shelling that temple. You know, it will splash them down. He's also got a decent amount of Corsairs now, something like 6 or 7, but I don't know how you're going to get past Sunken Man. And this, you know, actually, this is starting to look like Avilo style. Heavy upgrade lanes with Hive, rushed Hive, but
Yep.
there's no other hatches on the map taking bases, which makes me think that it may not be. Okay, well, there's second evolution chamber, so it still could be.
I mean, because there's no Hydrotech, right? There's no lurkers. The more Sziky expands, the more questionable it is that he's able to like hold those bases. Whereas right now, you know, because that third's locked off, there's really just one entrance and exit here for Sziky, one base for Dewalt to attack into, and so I kind of like this here from Sziky, because there's really not an opportunity for Dewalt to get a killing blow here.
Well, I think Dewalt knows, because I don't think I've ever seen Zergs build 3 Sunkens like this. Also, there was no Hydras shown. There was double evolution chamber. There's also no third base. So to me, as an outsider playing Protoss, I would think this looks like it's going to be Lingman, but it is actually going to be probably Lingman plus Guardian Devour sitting over that natural.
Yeah, I guess so. I feel like with that Corsair count, you're gonna need some Hydras as well. Oh, we have +1 armor, actually, does Sziky, so that's gonna change things up here a little bit. But yeah, it's likely going to be a lot of Guardians here with some Hydra and Scourge, and maybe a Devourer or two going for a timing.
There we go.
Oh, you called it.
Yeah, this is what I was waiting for. 1, I think, is going to take too long, but something like 2 or 3, yeah, we could start really dealing out a lot of damage to the temples. And that is something like 9 Corsairs. I don't even know if he's built additional mutas right now.
Ooh.
It doesn't seem like there's that many mutas. Oh, he's going to have to run, though.
Yeah, that's a lot of Scourge. I mean, these Scourge will trade for anything at this point. Ooh, come on. Yeah, we're going to need some more Muta, though,
Yeah,
if we want to hold this base.
Look at Sziky's gas. He's got 1,500 gas. I was expecting him to have built more mutas, but he's just waiting for as long as possible, I guess. He actually kills 2 Corsairs or 3 Corsairs there, so that was not bad, but like, these Archons are here, man.
Yeah, this is a problem. I'm not sure if he's recognized it. We're seeing some Lings move. We have a Sunken down. There is a Nidus. But I mean, there's no ground for us, right? What's going to come through that Nidus to save this base? He's going to have to wait on Guardian here.
He's got like 5 or 6 hatches, but these Lings, I'm not sure if they even have Adrenaline upgraded just yet. There's actually not that much from Protoss, so he may have actually gotten enough. He also has +1 armor, so that's going to nullify the +1 weapon. Here we go. Here comes Dewalt. This is probably one of his few opportunities to attack. The mutas get eviscerated, but 2 Devourers are going to push back those Corsairs. However, the ground army is not going to be enough with these Guardians coming into play.
Yeah, there's still quite a few Zealots here. He might even be able to target down that Nidus and prevent any, rally here from Sziky. Looks like Nidus does just barely go down.
Oh, actually, those Zealots did more damage than I thought. They actually killed a lot of drones there. The Corsairs ended up winning the Corsair versus Devourer fight, but that was simply because there was only 2 Devourers and no mutas. If there were more mutas, I think actually Dewalt would have lost that, but Sziky does hold this base technically, but his econ has been reset quite a bit, and Dewalt is taking a 3rd base.
Yeah, he is taking this 3rd base. Maybe if the Lings can get a big surround or something before Dewalt can reinforce. There's just a few cannons here, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Yeah, look at this. There's basically not a 3rd base yet mining from Sziky. Not a ton of drones there. And as we said, this is now Dewalt on a 3rd base, so I feel like Dewalt is at an advantage here.
Yeah, I agree. I think Dewalt has more than gotten back in this game. The loss of drones is really punishing here for Sziky. He doesn't have as many macro hatches as I was expecting him to have, and now his comp, it's just so weird. Like, it's 20 Lings, a Defiler, and 3 Guardians. Like, I don't know what you're pushing with this, so I feel like he's going to have to try and just be defensive here. And as I say that, he's taking top left, but here comes another push out from Dewalt. I think he's actually going to be careful here because his units are not upgraded, whereas the Lings are still, you know, they are 1-1, so they're pretty damn strong right now.
Yeah, only the +1 attack finished so far from Dewalt. We do have Defilers, so there's a potential for some pretty big plagues. There's been a Hydra Den in the main. I'd like to see some Lurkers and some Hydras out on the map, even if they are unupgraded. Lurkers are, you know, great at being able to at least hold bases, and I feel like if Sziky wants to continue on here, he's going to need to hold top left somehow.
Well, these Sares may have found the jackpot. They're going to kill all the Scourge, and now these Guardians are dead in the water. And look how fast they actually die. Guardians spawn with 2 armor, and they're just getting mowed down. This is not an overwhelming amount of Corsairs either. It's like 8. You know, that's a normal amount you build anyway. So that's just a gift in Dewalt's favor.
Yeah, definitely a gift. He's got to be feeling pretty good about that. No Overlord speed either, so this 4th actually could just be canceled. Oh, no! Defiler going to get knocked out as well.
I think he was trying to plague that to try and get vision onto that DT, but ends up losing the Defiler. Overlord going to be too slow to get into position, so that's a dead base, and we've got another move out from Dewalt with now +2 weapon upgrades kicking in. So these Lings will be much weaker than they were a moment ago, and we're getting Dewalt starting to shoot up really high in supply, and this may just be too much for Sziky to overcome, really.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. There's just an overwhelming amount of Zealot Archon here. Corsairs as well that still have not been dealt with. No Defiler at the 3rd base yet for Sziky. We do have Devourers though, so they should be able to counter off these Corsairs a little bit. But there's just not enough here, unfortunately.
Yeah, the score is dealing a lot of damage to the Corsairs, but the Corsairs are still all alive, man. One Muta is going to try and help save the day. Actually, those Mutas that were morphing, I thought they're going to be for Guardians, but they're actually for more Devourers. So Sziky does hold this technically, but again, his econ has been reset. He's now getting doubled in supply almost, and Dewalt just has complete map control, really.
Yeah, complete map control. That 3rd base is fully kicked in. He's even taken the 2nd gas in his main at this point. I mean, we're really starting to see that Archon count just begin to skyrocket, and Sziky's unfortunately just stuck on, you know, Devourer Ling.
Yep, we've got more flooding to top middle. I'm not sure if the Knight has died, but if it did, this is going to be really tough to defend. Here come the Defiler and Ling. Now that's a great play.
Nice play.
He really needed that.
Yeah, he definitely needed that. It's at least going to prompt Dewalt to back up, but I mean, there's no pressure on Dewalt at the moment, you know? It's really Sziky that needs to take another base.
Yeah, and Devourers, everybody knows they're good, but they actually don't really deal that much damage at all. Like, he's going to lose all 3 Devourers and a Guardian for 1 Corsair. Like, he really needs some Muta support there to actually help deal damage to those things, but not going to be the case, and Dewalt's is going to get a free 4th base, and if you're Sziky here, what do? Like, you can't take any bases because Dewalt's just on top of it. He's got vision at all the key locations.
Yeah, he really does. He's doing a great job just putting that pressure, preventing Sziky from really getting that 4th base he desperately needs to continue this game. And we are seeing some Hydra production, though. I mean, Hydras will be great here. They should counter off the remaining Corsairs. You know, if he's able to get that Lurker tech, maybe he could spend some of this remaining Vespian gas. But here we go. Dewalt going to be charging in with some weak Zealots and 4 Archons. And it just looks like he's got an overwhelming amount of units.
Yep, GG comes out, and unfortunately, the Guardian Devourer Ling combo not going to get a victory this time around. But it was a cute idea. I actually thought the game was over when the 5 Mutas go into the natural. Like, he shut down the mineral line. You know he's someone that's going to balance his econ. But he just never exploded like I thought he was going to explode.
Yeah, it was that return pressure, it felt like, from Dewalt. As you mentioned, because of the map, the double Archon timing on that third base was able to tear down those stacked temples fairly quickly and just kind of forced, Sziky into an uncomfortable spot. I thought it was cool though, right? Like the two base opener absolutely tricked Dewalt, caught him off guard a little bit. There was potential there for Sziky to, possibly end the game. But Dewalt just, held strong, played very, very well, and, to his strengths, and got a big win in game number 1.
Yeah, it was definitely a big win. Now I'm pretty scared for Sziky, and the reason I say that is because, he was picking Nemesis in previous series. Now he picked Odyssey first, so he was relying on victories here, and now all we've got are normal maps. Now, I'm not saying Sziky can't play a normal map, because we know that's not the case. But for sure, Dewalt has to be those types of maps have to be Dewalt's strongest, in my opinion. So I feel like that kind of needed to be a must-win for Sziky. So now that he's fallen there on his pick, I think Dewalt's feeling really good.
Yeah, he's got to be feeling really good. I mean, we are on to Vermeer. I mean, the staple map in the map pool, giant 4-player map. Every single base has a gas. It absolutely plays to Dewalt's strengths. I think he would pick this map game 1 in just about any series, no matter the matchup. But at the same time, man, Sziky gets to play a completely different style going into this game number 2. Maybe something he did about game 1 could have thrown Dewalt off his game a little bit there. Unlikely, but there is potential. And I don't know, man, running up against Sziky late game PvZ is no easy task either. So Sziky absolutely could win a late game, ZVP here on Vermeer, even against a player the caliber of Dewalt. But yeah, Dewalt's got to be feeling pretty good going into game number 2 here.
Yeah, and I think that style that Sziky played, I think it was such an unorthodox style. He was expecting to catch Dewalt off guard, and he did, but still didn't transition it into a victory. So now I think Dewalt can look into the future here and feel pretty confident that, hey, it's unlikely I'm going to run into 2-minute gas again. I kind of just got to prepare for the normal 2:40 gas or 3-minute gas openers. I don't think I necessarily need to worry about 2-hatch Muta anymore. So that's going to be clutch. Of course, I could be wrong. We'll see. Our players are ready for game 2. It's Sziky versus Dewalt on Vermeer.
And spawning top left as the red Zerg, it is Sziky.
And in the bottom left, our blue Protoss up 1-0. It's Dewalt. Now, was it Chow last week? Or, yeah, I think last week. Was he going like Forge openers? He was, right? You think we might see Forge opener? Like, is that in the meta now?
It seems to be, for whatever reason. I've been encountering, seeing Forge first, from a lot of these top players a little more often than I'd say just like a standard 9-gate or something like that. I'm not sure why. I think it's just kind of some players just want to comfortably get to a mid-game type scenario, and if you're hoping to kill off a player like Sziky with an early Zealot or 2, good luck. That's never happening.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thoughts on it, But yeah, this was a quick pylon scout here from Dewalt going bottom right. This obviously, he's already at 11 supply. This is definitely going to be some type of Forge opener. Sziky going for that hatch first once again here. I like this, just given what we're seeing. He's going to get a slight build order advantage on a 4-player map here, which is great. For if you're Sziky here, you got to be feeling pretty good. That was 11 hatch, 10 pool out of Sziky, so good even against a 9-gate. Just kind of doing like a little bit of a safer opener.
Well, this could be a cannon rush machine. We've got the Forge done.
Drone's already there.
Drone's already there, so that's probably gonna shut this down. And the drone actually got off the first shot, so that means that probe is gonna have to run, and that means that we're just gonna have the Nexus follow-up.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to be feeling fine about this if you're a Dewalt. He didn't, go for some kind of a cannon rush attempt and, delay anything. He's right on time.
Yep, and there was that probe confirming that there's no 2-minute gas, and he's just going to run around and try and get as much vision, intel as he possibly can. He's taking a lot of damage from that drone, though, and he needs to be careful.
Oh, look at this control. It is so difficult to get those moving shots off as Zerg. But it looks like he's going to end up just taking a third base, gas at 245. So this is right on the line. It could be, a Spire opener. He still could go for, some early type of Hydra play as well. Just kind of keeping Dewalt on his toes, I guess.
Yep, and there we go with Dewalt's FP view. We've got the gateway about done now. That probe needs to survive because, as you stated, it could be Mutas, it could be Hydra, it could be Lair. This is a point in the game where the probe must survive. So if this dies, he's going to have to sack another one to get intel. Because right now, all he knows is that there's a third hatch somewhere. He doesn't even know where it is. He's now going to confirm that it is at the normal third base.
Yeah. But that's big intel,
Oh.
Probe does go down. It's only
Look at that.
really seen the 6 lings.
You see that? You saw
I
how
love
the
it.
probe died and he instantly goes to his main? Because he knew it's Hydra time, baby. I
love it, man. Sziky just has that killer instinct with this opener that a lot of Zergs really don't. I kind of think this is one of Ziky's stronger builds just because his control, his mechanics are so good. This is an easy way for Sziky to get a pretty quick win here in this series.
Now that Overlord did see the Zealot, but I noticed Ziky's screen was not over top of the Zealot, so he may have actually missed it. But one thing that I do see that, is kind of weird. Think back to last game Machine when he had Lings at Dewalt's base, making sure probe doesn't get out. Now what's the difference here? There's no Lings. Now that sounds like not a big deal, but players at this level, they account for things like that. Like, dude, why are you not sitting outside of my base? Are you hiding something? What does this mean? And he is hiding the Hydrogen.
Yeah, he's absolutely hiding the Hydrogen. Hasn't shown anything yet, but this Zealot at the third, we'll see 4 drones. Ooh, 2 more Zealots actually moving out on the map. And I think this is when Dewalt knows that something is likely up here.
Yeah, because, like I said, he didn't even have a single Ling to check that the Zealots were moving. Like, he didn't have an Overlord sitting outside. So as an outsider, I'm just imagining alarm bells have to be going off in Dewalt's head. But if you look at Dewalt's natural, there's still only that single cannon. Like, I don't even think he has a probe sitting there waiting to build. Okay, he does have one actually building, so he knew.
Yeah, second cannon just started, but the Citadel is on its way. This looks a little tricky. There's a lot of red moved across the map here. I mean,
Yeah.
even still, only 3 cannons.
Yeah, 3 cannons. Hydras don't have range, but they do have speed, and that one on the left side is quite far away. So if you can pick off that one that's building right now, that's going to be a dead forge, dead gateway for sure. Oh, he's going to just go for it. He's actually going to try and kill him here. There's not that many Lings, though, but the Lings are going to get on top of that main cannon.
Yeah, getting on top of that main cannon is going to be huge here. We're seeing more Hydras even rally in. But I think there's a Zealot going into the third of Sziky at the same time. Yeah, looks like that's going to deny some mining, but at least the gateway will fall here.
Yep, and there's a Corsair. So the Corsair is going to die, but he is going to lose 1 drone for now. He still doesn't realize he's focusing at the natural, and every drone matters, but of course every cannon matters too, so Sziky may actually just end it because this is 12 Hydras, only 4 Zealots, and 2 cannons complete right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think he is at full rally at this point. We are seeing a 4th hatchery being built, only 2 cannons up, and once this forge falls, there's going to be no more cannons here for Dewalt.
Yeah, but this is buying Dewalt a lot of time because we know that there's only 2 complete, and by the time these Hydras pounce in, 5 might actually be complete. Here he comes, 3rd one coming online, still a decent amount of Zealots left over, 2, 4th cannon online. This is a lot of Hydras though.
This is a lot of Hydras. Great pro blocking here from Dewalt, just trying to prevent that additional damage from getting on top of those cannons, but more and more Hydras are rallying in here. Just 3 cannons remaining. Probes falling. Sziky might have done it.
He might have. He killed a lot of probes there. He focuses down. First, second, and third cannon are all going to die, and there's nothing left. Like, the gateway just come up, and that's it.
Oh, man. Well done there from Sziky with a pretty quick win in game number 2, man. I mean, Dewalt did everything he needed to do at the same time. I'm a little surprised that Sziky was able to take that, given how many drones were killed, you know, from that Zealot harass. Dewalt did a great job scouting everything out. I didn't feel like the cannons were super late or anything like that, but man, Sziky pulling off a pretty big win there for game number 2.
Yeah, the last attack where he was biding his time coming off the forge, I'm sitting there like, man, you're letting these cannons complete. You're going to miss the window. And when he lost those 3 drones also, I'm like, man, we're all in with this. So if you don't win here, I feel like you're super dead. But he just barely had enough, I guess. Those pros, they died so fast. Man, but I thought it was a really clutch hold from the wall. But in the end, if he had one more cannon, I think he holds, and then I think he's in a phenomenal position. But, you know, that's the volatility of ZVP. It's so razor thin with these defensive. But Sziky, he strikes back, man, and that was an important victory, because if you're down 2-0 versus someone like Dewalt, Mihu, Bonyth, doesn't really matter who it is, they're not losing 3 games in a row. I'm sorry, that's just not happening. So that was a must-win there.
Yeah, absolutely a must-win. And, I mean, we were also saying it before the game started. That to me was Dewalt's map. You know, Vermeer is a great map for PvZ, late game PvZ specifically in general. So if you're Dewalt, you can't be too happy falling on Vermeer to Sziky here, you know, in the game 2. But you know, once again, Sziky just kind of pulling something else out of his arsenal there, getting a big win with that early Hydra pressure. And suddenly we are in game number 3 here, and it's going to be Silphid, another great map for Hydra pressure.
Yeah, I remember you always talking about the Hydra pressure, man. It's very strong on Silphid. Also, it's got the tiny gap at the natural, and we know Sziky knows how to sneak in lanes, so Dewalt's going to have to be on top of his Zealot and probe micro to make sure that that does not happen. And we are ready, so it's time for game 3, Dewalt versus Sziky.
And spawning bottom left as the blue Protoss, it is CWT Dewalt.
Yep, and in the mid right, our red Zerg, it is Sziky. And I don't think we're seeing 12 hatch this game machine. I think this is 9 pool or over pool, because every time I see him on this map, it's an early pool, and he's trying to get in there into the main sneak. Even one ling, you know it's going to deal a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right here. I mean, he's got very, very good early pool control and, you know, early ling control, I mean, and we haven't even seen it yet with both those hatch firsts here. So yeah, I think that it's very likely. We're not seeing an Overlord at 9 here, so this will be a 9 pool out of Sziky. You know, another thing I wanted to point out, Dewalt did not spawn at 12 o'clock, and like you like to say about this map, is probably the most difficult base for Zerg to pressure with 973. Just, you know, based on the range of the cannon, you know, cannons for Protoss, you know, and the Hydras having to engage vertically into them. So this is going to be a little interesting here.
Machine, what the hell is this?
I don't know.
Am I seeing this correctly? This is 9 pool gas. Okay. I'll admit, on ladder, something's going on. Because even when I play these days, I'm getting 1 base lurker, okay? I play Terran. 1 base lurker, what the hell is that? Now, this is ZVP, but this is a build that you just don't ever see in ZVP, I don't think.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
unless
like,
it's
could
Blue
this...
Storm.
Yeah, unless it's Blue Storm. Could this possibly be, like, are we channeling our inner yellow here? Are we going for a lurker drop in the main? You know, Silphid does have a huge main.
Yeah, man, he's gonna do the tie 2 to him or something. This is just bizarre. We see an immediate 2 cannons from Dewalt. He is not effing around with this.
Yeah, and it is speed, so he's mined the 100 gas and has pulled off. So, you know, it's not going to be the lurker drop that I was hoping for. But This is just so uncommon. If this was ladder, you would be thinking, okay, I must be getting all in. But it's Sziky. Like, this guy knows what he's doing. He's high tier. What are you transitioning this with? Maybe he was expecting it to be a gate opener and he could shove his way in, but it's a forge opener.
Yeah, maybe that's the hope, is that it was a gate opener, but obviously it is not. He's going to see both cannons here and know exactly where he's at in this game. He is taking a natural, so this will not be a one-base lurker play or something truly ridiculous. But as soon as speed kicks in here, he's likely going to deny any future scout from Dewalt, and we'll kind of get to see Sziky show his hand here.
Oh, that's a big tell. You see a forge, you see 2 cannons, and you produce more lings? This is going to be a mega all-in from Sziky.
Probe's already blocking. Great wall-off positioning from Dewalt. I think he's in a solid position here to hold.
Well, you would think so, but I've seen games you feel like you've just got it locked up, yet somehow these lings or hydras or whatever it is just overpower you. Here he comes. He's going to try and knock down these probes. There's actually not that many in there. He does manage to run by into the main.
Wow.
And these are Sziky lings. You cannot let them in, man. He doesn't have his gate, or maybe I think his gate just finished, but there's no zealot.
Yeah, no zealot. Sziky already getting on top of this pylon, making Dewalt feel a little uncomfortable here. And yeah, we're going to get to see some first-person Sziky lings here. He's, I'm sure this is just going to be quite annoying for Dewalt if this pylon ends up falling. But there we go. Forcing some reaction here out of Dewalt.
What is that? Okay, that's a hatch. I think actually Dewalt could have just cannoned his main right now, because you see a guy 9 pooling, going speed, builds 12 ling. I don't think building an additional cannon ruins your build, but you know, he's way better at Protoss than I am, and he's decided that he's just going to defend with probes. And right now, he really hasn't taken much damage. He lost, what, a single pylon? That's nothing for letting these 3 lings get in.
Yeah, 1 pylon, 1 probe. But the lings are still pretty much full health here from Sziky, so they've got a lot of potential damage yet to go.
More lings.
Still, yeah, more lings, 3rd hatchery. In the main, actually, for Sziky, so not really trying to focus on getting to any kind of 3-base eco.
Yep,
I mean, these lings are really it. Yeah.
And actually, Sziky's transitioning this into 4 hatch, really low gas. Zealot finally gets a kill onto one of the lings, but the Zealot has snuck by, but Spidey senses we're tingling machine. He gets back into position with the lings, and this Zealot really shouldn't do much damage at all.
Yeah, he's going to scout. More speedlings being produced. Oh, wow. He does get another drone, though. That's huge, man.
That was a big pickoff, but the lings are going to trade almost for another probe. He wants to find them, but not able to find that hurt probe. But look at it. It's just 2 lings, and they're just so annoying.
They are so annoying, but at the same time, Dewalt's having great reactions to them. And that Dragoon should actually shut off any future ling damage here from Sziky.
Yeah, he's like, I've had enough of this ling. I'm just going to shoot it from the distance. But that ling's going to get another kill before he gets taken down. And in the natural machine, there's straight Citadel. Like, this is a Citadel rush. So we're going to have gateways come down in just a second. And back in Zerg's main, I mean, that seems like a perfect counter because he's not going lair. It's not going to be Spire.
Yeah, no lair, no Spire. It is Hydrogen, but Hydrogen, I believe, just finished. So we're a long ways off from really having big Hydra numbers that he's going to need to hold all 3 bases here. I think Dewalt's almost going to need to hope he scouts mid-right here, and Sziky almost needs to just hope that Dewalt doesn't in order to try to hold off this next timing here from Dewalt.
Yeah, I think Dewalt already found mid-right. That's why he's able to go to Citadel, because he knows, like, hey, there's no way you can afford all these hatches. And that's exactly where he's heading. And, you know, Goon doesn't have the highest DPS, but when you've got Zealots on hold position on the ramp, well, all of a sudden, that's a really strong combo. But Hydra's already out, so this should be shut down.
So Sziky immediately pulling these drones here. Oh, wow. Very nicely done.
And those two Zealots move into position as expected. And Sziky, I guess, doesn't care, because here we go. He's moving across with 5 Zealots. He still has a decent amount of Lings left over. And these Zealots may just be dead, man. Back in the natural, we only have 2 cannons.
Yeah, they're definitely dead. I mean,
Is he
Muta's
dead?
getting completely pulled out of position. Oh, we got 3 more cannons building, but I don't know, man. This is going to be some odd timing here.
Look at this. He's scrambling to get up cannons. I guess Sziky technically doesn't know that the cannons aren't done. But this looks like a repeat of where, we're going to lose our gate, our forge. So many probes are pulled off. This time around, Dewalt not messing around. That is 8 cannons. He's saying, no, sir, I'm not dying to Hydras this time.
At the same time, Sziky looks like he's going to save his third. He might actually be able to play out of this position.
Oh yeah, this is definitely manageable, especially when Protoss builds 8 cannons here. And he lets at least 6 of them complete so far. He also has messed up his gas because of those Lings. There's only 2 on the gas right now. So Dewalt has a decent gas bank right now, but, that's obviously going to come into play later on. It's also stalled his gateway timing, and he already killed like 6 Zealots already. So Sziky can just power like a madman right now if he wants.
Yeah, we're seeing him fall back even with those Hydralisks. 2 Sunkens at the third base. I like it. I think it's exactly what he's going to need to hold versus this Zealot timing that's inevitably coming his way. But we are seeing Dewalt with that first Corsair scouting out, seeing the tech here of Sziky, and also transitioning to Templar Archives as well.
Yeah, good scouting from Protoss, but if I was Protoss here, I'd be hating my life knowing that Zerg has 3 bases. You also got to look at the drone count, which is crazy right now. He's got so much econ. He's got 5 hatches. I guess the one thing that I didn't notice that Sziky has is no evolution chamber anywhere machine, so he's going to be behind in upgrades.
Yeah, I think that just now starting at his natural, so I mean, it kind of happens. You have to. Oh, never mind. He doesn't have it. It's kind of a give and take, given what happened at the start of this game, right? 9 pool speed on such a unique map, and I guess that's where really the give has been. Just he can't quite afford his upgrades, but is still trying to work on that Spire tech. Ooh, double Evo.
I guess he sees there's no evolution chamber, there was no Spire, and he doesn't have to build a lot of Corsairs right now, so he's going to use that money to go into a fast third base. But there's still 5 hatches, 6 hatches. This is a lot of Hydras. This feels ambitious from Dewalt, but he does have a sizable gateway count and Zealot count right now, so maybe he can hold. He also has a few Templars banking up energy, and of course, Sziky has no idea that this base is going up, so good, smart move from Dewalt.
Yeah, I like this, given his position. As Sziky, you'd expect Dewalt to be pressuring between that natural and that third right now. And we saw a correct reaction, right? Sziky has tons of static defense at both bases, really just focusing on getting that drone count up. But it seems like the one thing he didn't anticipate was Dewalt to just take a high ground third at this point.
Yeah, supplies are still close, though, 105 to 85. Another Zealot is going to get killed off here, but we've got an interception in the center of the map. Does manage to take down at least one of the Hydras, 2 of the Hydras. Oh, there's Mutaman.
Yeah, we knew the Spire was on the way. Dewalt didn't really commit a lot to Corsairs here, so I think this is a great call from Sziky. He's kind of known for his Muta control, man. He's got incredible Mutas that no one likes to deal with.
Yep, that is a Templar. Okay, he's got a Templar in his main also for the Muta. Backstab, cannons going up at the third base. Zerg still doesn't know about it, just barely out of vision are those Zealots. Now he's going to know that, hey, you took a third base, but it's too late, can't do anything about it.
Ooh, 4 Corsairs from Dewalt. Actually sees the probe transfer, does Sziky as well. So looks like that's going to prompt him to just kind of sit back and try to hold his 4th.
We've got second forge going down, so those upgrades really going to start rolling in pretty soon. We've got almost even supply now, so Zerg is now starting to really kick in, and that is a decent amount of lurkers. Could it be hold position? I don't think Protoss spotted it, though. He does just trigger it instantly.
Ooh. Great storms here from Dewalt.
Oh man, you don't want to see that. Robo just started when 4 lurkers are already out on the map?
I think he's fine because he has the third base and the third gas, right? He'll back up outside his natural or keep his army out in the center or move it up towards the third all he wants. The fact is he's definitely got the eco to support those obs. They just might be a little delayed.
Yeah, and Sziky, of course, doesn't know that there's no observer, so he's not able to set up a contain. Now, this could be a great storm, potentially catching 5 lurkers as they morph, but instead he gets a good storm onto the Hydras, and Sziky's just in a defensive posture right now.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of Hydras right near these Corsairs. If only he knew. Muta's trying to come in and do a little bit of damage.
Yeah, only 2 Overlords, though. That's not the biggest loss. So he'll be able to just rebuild those and then start saturating that 4th base.
Oh man, I think he's lost track of that group of Hydras in his main.
I hate when that happens, man. There will be some times I'm like, dude, I'm maxed out, but I have 3 groups or 2 groups. I'm like, where is my stuff? And it's like there's the misrallied, or I forgot to, like when you're doing your 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, like one group just doesn't come with it.
Yep. No, I've definitely had that happen a time or two. The worst is the maps like Nemesis, right, where they just get stuck bouncing back and forth between your third and your main because they're rallied to some location that they can't get to. Like,
I hate that.
Oh man,
I hate it.
That's rough.
Well, this is not enough mutas to one-shot Templars, is it? It's just 5.
No, you can 2-shot them though. I mean, I think it's still like a worthwhile trade here. He's at least going to use them to scout out that mineral only being taken, get a better idea of where he's at on the map. No Overlord speed yet, but he's got plenty of lurkers building and in all the right positions here. It's going to be a tough engagement from Dewalt if he wants to try to end this anytime soon.
Yeah, and those mutas being alive, we saw Guardians in the opening game. Like, they could just sit over there and morph into Guardians at some point and just harass the back of that third base or mineral only. And we do have a big engagement now coming into the third base, but that's a lot of lurkers set up.
That's a lot of Dragoons, though. I mean, looks like few lurkers going to fall instantly. And, Sziky's really got to start getting his units rallied over here. Dewalt already in a incredible position. There's not much protecting that third base of Sziky, but it looks like Dewalt trying to funnel in and attack the 4th.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to actually be able to bulldoze this because there's so many Hydras, so many lurkers. And by the way, that Hydra group machine in the main still hasn't been spotted. It's still just sitting there.
Really unfortunate. He could absolutely use those Hydras right now. Still, though, Sziky fights on. Ooh, kind of stormed his own units there. Oh, no. Only 1 lurker remaining here at the 4th base of Sziky.
I think the Dewalt might have done it, man. Hive was not done. Like, Crackling upgrade is not done. So he's going to be able to just push in here. Like, these Lings are not strong at all. They don't have really any upgrades, really. And the goons just don't die. Like, now finally some Hydras are getting on top of them. But if Dewalt can reinforce this position, look at the supply. It's 155 to 80.
Yeah, he's over doubled the supply at this point. Still just pushing in here, man. These mid-game Dragoon timings before Defilers are out are just so tricky at times for Zerg to deal with. And yeah.
The 2-2 power spike really kicking in for Protoss versus a Zerg that was just at 0-1 or 1-1, and this is going to be it. This is going to be game 2 or game 3 going over in favor of Dewalt. This is unstoppable.
Yeah, there's just not the upgrades, not the unit count he needed. GG is called there. So, man, Dewalt firing back, given such an odd opener, right? Like you were saying, how many times have you seen a 9-pool speed at this high a level? When the map wasn't Blue Storm. But still, Sziky made it work, played it out into a fairly standard game, but Dewalt just kind of did what he needed to do, man. Got it done.
Yeah, he definitely got it done. And it's funny because when we were, like, literally the right before the last attack happened, I was about to say, this is the point in the game machine where I get worried for Protoss because Zerg even supply, got 4 bases versus 3. You got Hive Tech, but he hit right before all of that kicked in. So it was a really well done timing. And now he is one game away from taking the series. And what's the... Oh, we've got Circuit Breakers coming up, which is technically DeWalt's pick.
Yeah, not sure what he was thinking there with this pick, but you know what? I can't wait to see it. At the same time, man, Circuit Breakers, it's a great map for ZVP. It's a great map for Zyky style. I think those heavy, mid-game Hydro Pressure into just basically getting to Hive, getting Cracklings upgraded, and spamming Cracklings around the map is such a good style to play on Circuit Breakers. It always makes me think of Eon Zerg's style on Circuit Breakers, to be honest with you. That is definitely a Zerg that has this map completely figured out. But yeah, we'll have to see what Zyky ends up going for here. Obviously, he could just as easily go Muta. If you spawn vertical locations on this map, there is absolutely no air travel time, it feels like, from natural to natural. So Muta's also a big possibility on this map. But yeah, obviously, at the same time, Dewalt definitely someone who's spent a fair amount of time playing this map as well, and obviously picked it. So kind of excited to see what he has planned here as well.
Yeah, and with Circuit Breakers being out of the ladder map pool, for like 2 years now, Protoss players may have gotten a bit better, and maybe Circuit Breakers isn't as big of a deal as it was in the past. But regardless, this could be our potential final game of the day. Let's find out if Dewalt can win the series 3-1.
And spawning bottom left of Circuit Breakers as the blue Zerg, it is StarCast Zyky.
Yep, and in the top right, one game away, it is Dewalt. And I don't know if you just saw the chat machine, but Averti mentioned that Dewalt in the past year versus Zyky. Do you know what their score is? You'd expect like 50-50, right? Something like that?
Pretty close, yeah. Maybe slightly in Dewalt's favor, I'd guess.
Well, it's almost that close. It's 44-9 for Dewalt.
44-9? Oh my god.
44-9. That is an insane win rate.
Yikes,
Yikes.
Oh man, that's that's a strong play, obviously, from Dewalt. And the more you say, now that you said that, I've always thought Dewalt's PvZ really stood out, in particular in the foreign scene, man. He has incredible Protoss versus Zerg, great understanding of the matchup, and just makes it so difficult every single time for these high-level Zergs.
Yeah, it's so true. Even though Korean players think Dewalt's strongest matchup is Protoss versus Terran, which I'm not going to argue with because I agree it's his strongest matchup, but he is just such a killer in all the matchups, and he's bringing it to our #1 ranked Zerg right now. And this is just... Okay, I think he did scout mid-right, Machine. I was just like, did he really cross-scout this one game and find him in the first position? It always feels like whenever I watch BSL, they almost always scout first.
And especially when the Zerg 9 pulls,
Yeah,
Zerg can never just get away with it. There can't be the one game Dewalt goes Nexus first.
Can't be.
Nope. But this is going to be great for Dewalt here. Going to get a nice hatchery block off. Zyky, though, with incredible drone controls we've seen from him, gets the first shot off, so he might be putting this down here quickly. And yeah, hatchery does go down.
And again, it's another Forge opener. We have yet to see a gateway opener, I think, from Dewalt. So for whatever reason, Protoss players really favoring this. And this, of course, is going to be great versus what Zyky's going for, because these Lings are going to do absolutely nothing. At least, luckily for him, he didn't go straight gas, because I don't think the run-by would have worked twice. And Dewalt does come in and confirm no gas. He is going to see the 250 gas, though, so still going to be relatively quick gas based on how the openers have gone.
Yep, double cannon, though, as well from Dewalt, so not being greedy about it. Just getting that gateway after Nexus. Likely going to be putting down the gas in his main here any second. And it looks like Zyky going to be taking his mineral-only third base.
Yep, mineral only coming down. And in years past, that would signal something like 973. But nowadays, hatchery position doesn't necessarily signal that. It could still be lair. It could still be mutas. You know, it could be a whole variety of things. So Dewalt still needs to somehow get this probe back over there and get another scout off.
Yeah, I mean, really the only thing for Zerg not having that third gas at the mineral only limits is kind of that heavy muta mid game style, right? Where Zerg goes like +1 armor, gets a bunch of Scourge with it. We definitely can't be seeing that out of Sziky here, but you know, you can still go for like a 5 muta plus Scourge opener, or you know, obviously Hydralisks aren't very limited by this, and it is going to be a lair first out of Sziky.
Now remember what I said the other game, Machine, with the Lings, how he didn't leave one outside of Protoss's base. Now look, there's no Hydra this time, and there is at least one Ling outside of Protoss's base. Just something to note. Just something to note, you guys out there, that little things like that do matter, and top players will notice that. So I think Dewalt probably is also aware of that, and I think a Stargate has already gone down in his main.
Yeah, you're right. Stargate on the way. Muta or Spire not yet started as well for Sziky, so we'll have to see how that goes.
Good hold position on the ramp, keeping the probe out. I always love to see that. Definitely do not want to let that probe sneak in. And there is the Spire, but the Stargate is considerably farther along than the Spire, so he may be able to rack up at least that Overlord kill outside of his mineral only right now. Maybe even get an additional one if he can find one out in the open, but I don't see one out in the open. Meanwhile, Zealot moves into the third base, and this... Oh, can he block it off? No, he does not block it off, so he's just got one-on-one with Lings.
Yeah, this is great for him. Good trades from Dewalt. Caused some lost mining time as well. So he did force some reaction, but not big damage for Sziky either way.
Yep, Citadel coming in, very normal timing. Nothing unusual going on this game. I guess really what we're waiting to see is it a Scourge man, or are we going to go for 5 mutas again and try and harass the natural?
I think it's going to be Scourge drone. From here, it's just a guess. You know, we don't see a ton of gas really stacked up, and to be honest with you, it seems like the drone count's a little lower than maybe Sziky would want it to be before he's really committing to any kind of like heavy unit play. Only 4th hatchery down as well, so still waiting on that 5th hatchery from Sziky.
Yeah, Sziky doesn't have the supply or the minerals really to afford the mutas, so it is going to be the Scourge. Like you were saying, there's the 5th hatch evolution chamber coming up. Sayre scouts everything. Actually missed the Overlord, so he may not even get a single Overlord at all. So that's at least a good thing for Sziky right now, but he still desperately needs to catch up with after his 9 pool didn't really do anything at all.
Yeah, absolutely. He's pulling his Zerglings back, and I'm a little surprised by this. I feel like he'd want to know exactly when the Zealots are moving out on the map, but seems like he's content with just sitting back in his main. 2 Scourge, going to be scouting everything out. Sees a few Zealots at the natural, sees the blinking Stargate. I believe he's maybe saw a Templar Archive. Oh no, he didn't see Templar Archives yet, but has to assume that's likely on its way.
Yeah, he just barely is going to miss the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th gate go up. Generally that happens around 7 minutes, 7:30. There's the 2nd gate. Right now, I'm surprised there's not more gateways going down, but we still have the standard 7:30-ish move out from Dewalt, and speed is going to be kicking in momentarily. This time around, it's only 6 Zealots, so it's not as strong as I was expecting, but Hydra's already out. 8 or so Lings also out on the map, so this should get shut down and Scourge spot it, so this really shouldn't do much damage at all.
Yeah, it looks like Sziky doing what he's got to do, getting the Lings and Hydras into a good position as natural. No sunken, but I think he's fine.
Well, he's going to take this engagement. I don't think Dewalt wants this fight, man. He's going to lose a lot. Maybe the Zealots had +1 weapon kick in. He gets a Hydra, but he's going to lose all of his Zealots here. His +1 weapon did kick in, so the Lings did not survive as long as I was expecting them to. But now, Zealots are into the main, they're going to die, but the real issue is there are 5 or 6 Corsairs out, and all these Hydras are out of position.
At the same time, Sziky did not cut Scourge. Ooh, we're seeing the Scourge maybe get some big connects here. Nope, Dewalt just saying, you know what? All right, you made the Scourge. Time to back up. And suddenly, we've got a lot of Hydras on the field here for Sziky.
Yeah, losing those 6 Zealots really crippled Dewalt's supply. He's still fine, but his gateways are a lot slower, and he's just now really started his 3rd, 4th, and 5th gateway. So right now, there's not a lot of production for Dewalt. These Hydras could do a sizable amount of damage. Just even knocking down the Forge would be great. Denying +1 armor.
Yeah, it would be great. Looks like he's found this Dark Templar mid-left here. That's gonna fall.
How did he even find that?
I think it was luck. He just happened to be on the edge of his Overlord's vision.
Well, Corsair's gonna find the jackpot here, get 2 of them. Oh, well, 1 of the Corsairs died, so not as big of a win for Dewalt as you were expecting. 6 hatches in production for Sziky also, so he's got a lot of larvae available. He could consider taking his 4th base soon.
Yeah, it was good focusing here from Sziky on that single Corsair. Still, though, Overlords continue to fall, and this has been a supply block for quite some time here.
Yeah, now it's starting to really rack up, and this is buying Dewalt a lot of time because, like I said, I mean, that's 3 Zealots. Like, that was the extent of his army. So Hydras could have knocked down some key buildings, but now, with more production available, with Templars, with Storm energy available, that's no longer the case, and the Corsairs have done a good job getting Overlord kills and avoiding death, but Sziky, I think he took a 4th base at bottom middle, or did he not? Oh, mid-left.
Mid-left, but yeah, he looks like the Hydras were at least pushing out bottom middle to eventually take. Okay, Corsairs see the base, though. That's a big problem here. Now we know exactly where Dewalt's going to be directing his next timing.
Yep. Is any of that a robotics facility? Because I haven't seen a lurker. Okay, there it is at the natural robotics. There we go.
Yeah, he's got the robotics just in time. Observer should be in time. I'm expecting to see lurker out of Sziky here pretty soon. Wow, very good Hydra control there. Kind of stuttering and preventing really a whole lot of damage. And as you said, yeah, it looks like lurker is now being morphed here from Sziky.
That looked like some StarCraft 2 Marine micro right there with the stutter step. So well done from Sziky. I thought he had no chance of winning that fight. Now, speaking of no chance of winning a fight, Overlord's definitely not going to win versus the Corsairs, but the Hydras get back in time. But the supplies are so even at this point. Dewalt, he needs to do something here, whether it's the big goon timing or not. But, like, Zerg's just exploding. Also, he's about to set up a massive contain with lurkers.
Yeah, I mean, that's Circuit Breakers, man. It's a difficult map. Oh, wow. Counter timing, though, from Dewalt. Might be killing off that mid-left 3rd base. But, yeah, it looks like Lurker's getting in position here to just lock Dewalt in his natural. Still no 3rd base underway for Dewalt.
Yeah, but getting that 4th base is huge. That's going to be a big loss to the economy of Zerg. And Protoss has only burned through 2 storms. I think he could actually push through here if he can get, some zealots in at the same time. Now we've got a zealot attack at the natural, and he's just running by. This could be the opening that he wants. Draw the attention of Zerg away from those Hydras outside the base, and then storm everything.
Good drone pulling, though, from Sziky. Not taking a ton of losses so far in the main. And he does have Hydras in position now to try to save that, but like you said, it looks like this is the opening Dewalt's been waiting for. Moves, oh my gosh, he got that Observer immediately, and suddenly he is stalling out Dewalt's move out.
Yeah, that was great. The storm gets rid of all the lurkers for now, and Dewalt somehow snuck out a probe to mid-right, so he's already building a nexus. The Zealots confirm the 4th base down at bottom middle. Even though the Zealots in the main didn't do much damage, what it did confirm is, hey, you're not going Hive right now. So he knows that it's still Hydra Lurker Man right now. He can afford to just play passive if he wants, or if he's feeling confident with his storms, he can probably just barrel through these Hydras and Lurkers. But with supplies being so even, not sure if that will actually happen. And look at that, +2 power spike for Zerg already.
Yeah, +2 power spike. This is really when Sziky wants to fight. And we're seeing both the armies start to engage here. Lurkers are burrowing off to the right side. And I think Ziki's trying to feint. Oh my gosh, huge storms there from Dewalt.
Usually Sziky has the best Hydra lurker control, but that time around, Hydras ate a huge storm. However, a couple of Hydras do get to mid-right. They do have good DPS. They might be able to actually cancel this Nexus, but the problem is Zerg lost his entire army, and yes, Protoss is going to lose a big chunk of his army too, but I still see those 4 Templars alive.
Yeah, that's really what matters here. Oh, as you say that, 1 Templar going down for nothing. And Hydra's still trading fairly decently given what has just occurred here. But at the same time, Dewalt, you know, now he's got a 3rd base.
Yeah, and luckily he gets that base up, because if he didn't, that would put him pretty much all in. We're approaching the 17-minute mark where bases start getting mined out, so it's imperative that he gets another base, and we've got a huge transfer of workers over there, so that's going to be online. And Sziky, aware of how important this base is, he's going to try and continue to push the issue. I don't think he's going to make it through though, but storms are fizzling out, but the problem is that the goon count is still freaking high.
Yeah, goon counts, I mean, really high, and he's just fighting so well mid-game. Templar being focused down, though. 3 of them just got popped there. And, I mean, Hydras do have +2, so you know, but armor of Protoss is now +2. So, yeah, I feel like Sziky's kind of lost his window here and might have to look to just start D'ing up and holding another base.
Yeah, he's still continuing to pump units, though. He still has massive econ. It's not like he's lacking drones at bottom middle, so he's definitely not all in with this. But if he's going to continue to go for this, he needs to go, I would say, right now before the army gets consolidated again, before more Templars get mixed in. Actually, there's no Templars here. He morphed it into an Archon. So this is the moment to go.
Ooh, Ling's getting on top of a few Dragoons here, too. That's a very nice pickup for Sziky. No melee upgrades, though.
Zealot almost gets picked off there. Good reaction from Dewalt. And mid-left is going to get taken at the same time. So Zerg is starting to get out of hand. Protoss, yes, powerful upgrades, but not, you know, super strong army right now. I don't think he can even do anything about mid-left. He's just got to defend.
Yeah, he's really just gotta kind of defend here, and Sziky trying to sniff out areas where he can maybe go for these Ling counter timings. I think the fear is once Protoss gets a few Templar here, it's very difficult for Zerg to hold this center without a significant amount of lurkers, and we just don't have those.
Yeah, but look at how confident Dewalt is. He's going to take his mineral only in just a second. That Zealot is still alive, man, and that's going to be maybe not necessarily a dead base, but it's going to draw a lot of the units out of this army, and that's going to give Dewalt an opportunity here to just pounce on these Hydras and lurkers.
Great storm going down from Dewalt there. The Lings just don't have the upgrades, I feel like, to trade how they would want to.
With the Hydras and with Sziky controlling them, I mean, they're always so effective here. That's another amazing storm. And now maybe Protoss just barely has enough. He's plowing through all of the Hydras and lurkers, and in a moment of vulnerability, Sziky actually eats a lot of storms, and that's because Zealots were attacking mid-left. That's a dead base.
Yeah, suddenly Sziky on the back foot for sure here. Protoss taking their own mineral only. And, I mean, these constant Zealot counters from Dewalt have just been such a hassle to deal with.
And now what do you do? Like, you've got Zealots in your natural and your main, and I don't think he has Hive tech, so these Lings, okay, he does have Hive, but I don't think he has Crackling upgrades. Like you said, the Lings don't even have upgrades, like damage upgrades. How do you actually defend this 4th base? Like, I don't know how you're going to do that. Yes, he's got a good arc, but if there are Templars in this army, we're just going to storm all that down.
Yeah, fortunately, we're not seeing any Templars, so the heavy Hydra, you know, are okay given the circumstances here. We'd love to see a couple lurkers, obviously, but yeah, this is looking very good for Dewalt here.
I think this is the best move Sziky could go for, is go for a Ling counterattack once those Crackling upgrades kick in. You can see that they dish out so much damage. But Dewalt instantly reacting, not going to lose his Nexus. and he's not able to get damage done at the fourth base. But the problem is what base does Sziky take at this point? It feels like he can't move out on the map at all.
Yeah, it really does. Lurkers are going to be morphed here at 6, but I mean, if he's going to hold anything, it's got to be like mid left or top left at this point. There's too much pressure here.
Well, the Zealot count is whittling down. We've got more and more Lings being pumped out. Lings just eat up goons. Another small counterattack is going to get shut down. There's no Archons in this army anymore, so maybe Sziky can hold with Ling Lurker, and it looks like he may just barely, but we've got Storms coming in.
Yeah, there's enough Lurkers here that I don't think Dewalt can break this finally. But still, the damage has been done. This has been doing nothing but delaying the future bases of Sziky. At the same time, Dewalt has that fourth base easily defended. You know, Eco is, I mean, looking great for him, honestly. And he just continues to rally, put more and more pressure down here at bottom center, and is just getting good trades.
Yeah, and these goons already have +3 armor, and with +3 armor versus +0 Lings, even with crackling, you're just not going to be dealing enough, very much damage. So this was good management of the upgrades from Dewalt. He's got 4 base versus 4 base. Sziky desperately trying to get mid left, but as we stated, there's no map control at all. Like, there's no units over here. That's a completely open base. If a DT walks over there, that base probably just outright dies.
Yep. Yeah, there's just, I mean, Sziky just can't afford it, right? He needs every single unit he has at the moment just to try to hold this 6 o'clock base. Drones being stormed now from Dewalt. I mean, this has just been terrible, terrible damage here from Dewalt.
Yeah, just a relentless assault onto this position, making sure that at no point can Sziky ever give up this front, because if he does, that's going to be a dead base. And with the lack of vision in the middle of the map, that means that he has no clue that Dewalt even pulled back here. And we're just going to have a breach of mid-left in a second, I imagine. Sziky now finally realized that, hey, you've repositioned, but it's too late. The entire army's here.
Looks like this is a race for that high ground. Dewalt doing exactly what he needs to do. There is a good amount of Lurkers here, but unfortunately they are just not burrowed in time. Big surround with Ling Hydra here from Sziky, but Storms are going down, and the Archons just barely able to break through here.
Yeah, there's just so much Protoss behind this. It's 85 to 135. It feels like Sziky may just barely be running out of steam. If those Lings had more upgrades, I think he could actually hold this. But now, is there enough? There's just still so many goons. The Archon's doing so well in the front line.
Yeah, they are. I mean, just really kind of leading the charge here. GG finally called from Sziky, and Dewalt going to end up taking an incredible 3-1 series.
Yeah, it was really well done from Dewalt. Also, props to Sziky. Like, he played very well, but Dewalt just monster mode, man. And, you know, even though I'm a big fan of Dewalt, I root for him every season. After Sziky beat Mihu, I gotta admit, I thought that this was going to be Sziky's season. If we look at his profile every time before the game, like, you see 4th place or 3rd place across the board, I thought for sure this time around it's going to be at least 2nd, but not the case, man. Dewalt, he's just 44-9, 45-9 now versus Sziky machine. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, man, it's insane. It speaks to really the consistency of Dewalt that we, you know, see season over season. And as you said, consistency. Like, Sziky, you know, he's been hitting that 4th place, hitting, you know, so many times. It did look to be his breakout season, man. But, you know, once again, going to be the Zerg that makes it the furthest in this season of BSL. So props to that, right? I mean, he's literally made it further than anyone else playing his race. But man, what can you say? Sometimes you run up against Dewalt in the quarterfinals, you know?
Yeah, it just happens.
Yeah, but with that, it will be Dewalt moving on to face Mihu in an epic PvT tomorrow. So yeah, should be pretty exciting, man. I know you're happy about that one.
Of course. We got Mihu, who looks actually unkillable in Terran versus Protoss. I don't know how that happens, because by most, I mean literally 99% of Terrans, except for maybe Lighter Flash, easily their worst matchup is Terran versus Protoss. So for him to just have, like, I think actually 100% win rate, or actually, I think Bonyth took him down the other week, so maybe like 95% win rate in TVP, that's going to be nuts. And what makes this even more exciting is it is Dewalt, who has a lot of history in the past 3 seasons or so, especially the first one where Dewalt was not happy about Mihu coming late to the finals. I want to see if Mihu's going to do it again, or if we'll finally get some Dewalt revenge.
Yeah, man. Either way, it's going to be pretty exciting. I think Dewalt could do it, right? They faced off earlier this season, and I think Dewalt even took a game. So, I mean, he's right in there for it. As you said, a lot of folks believe that Dewalt's best matchup might even be his PvT. But as you said, Mihu's just almost an unkillable monster TVP at the same time. So it's going to be exciting, man. It could go either way. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see that one tomorrow.
Yep. So of course, BSL could not be happening without our sponsors and our Patreon supporters. So at the $100 level, we of course have none other than Star Lover and ya boy. Then we've got Striker. Yeah, it's your boy. We've got Striker, Believe in Zero, My Fleeting Dream, Veer Rev, and Hash Fuzzy, Tim, Cuz, Tupacalypse, Robert Groot, Niantic, and Suricata, On My Way, Gordon Bradley, KJ, Daniel Lopez, LML, Machine, Quark.
It's your boy.
Yeah, it's your boy. Stephen Robertson, Mr. Cat, Andre, Nicolescu, Duvaz, and Medino. And all you other Patreon supporters, thank you so much for supporting the BSL. Remember, $10 or above, you get all the replays of BSL. And of course, our main sponsor, which is OptiMonk. We've got to shout them out. Thank you so much for the continued support of the BSL.
Yep. And obviously, as always, big shout out to Zero for making this happen week to week, man. We got to see the quarterfinals today. Looking ahead to tomorrow's match, we are finally in the top 3 of this season for BSL. So, I mean, it's just killers from here on out. Not like it wasn't already, but yeah, man, tomorrow's going to be a pretty epic day. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, checking this out, and we hope to see you all tomorrow. So we'll see you then.